Hello guys, welcome. Today we'll be playing the Summer Tide Scales and Tails. 41 days remaining. Oh, gems. Oh yeah, we do get the outfit, Kara's outfit. Phantom and boots. Oh, yeah, looks pretty good. Another constellation for they help the forest dwellers. The pipes. I think this map looks pretty good. Looks wonderful. The only thing I say like pretty much sucks is that pretty sad that it disappears after 41 days. That's really the bad thing about it. Just like that, we did it.
Oh, amazing! You did it!
Now the tonic will flow into everyone's cups without getting stuck, right? Oh, gotta say though, Paimon is starting to get pretty curious about this magic tonic. It's not greed, it's
Well, if it's really just one sip, I guess that would be fine.
Just be careful. This is one of the last cups left in the entire forest. We're supposed to save it for our research.
just a sip, promise. Okay, here goes. We won't. Ooh, what was that? Oh, it's sticking to the pot.
Wait, does that mean what the legend says is true? The goddess of fate used ink to compose her stories on paper, and the goddess of creation used her power to bring those tales to life.
No wonder the tavern is so important to the forest.
Maybe the fading disorder occurs when the ink within the body dries up. Oh.
I'm not really sure I can really wrap my head around this conversation.
What do you mean, can't wrap your head around it?
Really?
Don't be ridiculous. There's no way you're old enough to have met her.
Oh, fine. It was my grandfather, all right? He said, in her hands.
Ugh, cut the theatrics, will.
Wait, so that's
Oh, so
Voice is gonna be in this one.
Magic.
That's enough out of you. All
I
you're
wonder
boasting is
why
confusing our
Wander
com-
is here
No,
too.
it's all right.
the honor was all...
We've got one final stop. Let's go.
Useful, I'll take it.
well.
I just
Since
want to
we've
get
taken
this
care of most
event
We
done
still,
as
You
soon
mean
as possible so I can get all the Primo
in
gems.
other words,
Maybe get the Kiara skin.
this.
That's about
we're
it.
surrounded by.
You're right, Paimon.
The maps are wonderful.
This is how you.
Whoa, your origami
The voice
skills
actors
are
are
great.
so great.
I once saw one of our prop people making something similar.
Well, how do you?
No,
No.
magic words.
Oh, good
I
point.
tried to broadcast too, but it kept saying we're doing maintenance on it on Twitch. So that's the reason why
I
I have no
bestow
videos
upon
on
you,
Twitch.
your name shall. My name is Parisara.
Well, peel my shell and call me a nut. I never imagined I'd witness.
Shell. Nice to meet you, Hello, Fairy Neil. I hope you'll grow up happy. Grow up.
Here, Padisara. Come to Grandpa Armin.
Well, now that Milu has mastered the goddess's magic,
Grandpa Almond, could you send a few people to check the underground space
Yeah,
beneath the
don't know
tavern?
what's going on here.
Oh, of course.
Why
May I ask?
The moment I
Navi
used magic,
and
Of
Wander
course.
and
Look into it
Kiara
right
is supposed to
away.
be
make
here
sure you listen.
in this event.
Parisara, listen. Running.
Hey, come back here, you. Wait.
yep, that's Nilu's creation, all right. She's got so much energy. Anyway, how did
Well, all I did was say my wishes for her out loud.
this place is seeming?
I mean,
Well, anyway, Paimon thinks this magic suits you perfect.
when I brought Parisara, but for some reason,
We're back, my lady.
That was fast.
You were right.
Transparent?
Already?
That's right.
Yeah,
Traveler, Paimon.
sure thing. What a... where are we supposed... What? How did you get that logic?
Okay, now we're playing as Nilo. She certainly has a lot of health, that's for sure. Who's collecting this? I have to fight these things over here?
Nice and spicy.
No clue. Probably should have brought Pog.
With all my strength.
Let's light it up! Strike a pose! Boring! Useless!
Positions.
No idea what's going on. Also, my Flume is not built, so that's what she's doing. Such horrible damage.
That should be everything,
Okay,
right?
that's.
What should we do now?
No, you're not dead.
Let's go back to the Hut of Blessings.
I don't know what I'm new with that. And I'm all out of stamina. Oh my goodness. Wow.
Give me just a second. I'm gonna go fetch.
Paimon doesn't get it. All the ingredients are super tasty. Well, anyway,
Sorry to keep you waiting. Let's see.
That was fast.
According to the book, first you do this, then this, and then... It's done!
Wow. Magic sure makes everything super convenient.
He got his color back.
Yes, this is it.
Grandpa Almond.
Of course.
Could make a joke
Still
about
getting
Natlin,
there.
right?
Let's go.
Natlin, but oh no. Should I risk it? Don't know, man. This whole place is missing its color.
Forest. Please heed my words. May your spring of wondrous magic...
I've got a cinematic.
Fairy Nilu is amazing. Wow.
It's a wonderful cinematic.
So pretty. What a beautiful...
It matches the scenery of the forest perfectly. I was so...
I remember now. I remember It was me. The hero who shall save this world will descend upon the cliff of...
So the prophet
That's why I was...
is the cliff of...
If not you, then who else? You've already helped the fairy revitalize our forest.
Alright. Either way, we're going to keep adventuring even if it's... Yep, that's exactly right.
As expected.
I'll come with you. It can't hurt to have a magical fairy tag along, right?
Heroes and fair...
Once you've arrived at the astral gut...
Are you leaving, fairy? I'm afraid so. There are still other people who need my help. I won't go far, though, so be a good girl, Putty Sarah, and help out Grandpa Almond whenever you can. Got it!
I'll head to the station first thing tomorrow morning and...
That's great!
Oh, sounds like someone.
Oh, well, if you're offering. Paimon will take a glass of Buell fruit tonic. But hold the tonic.
The story begins in a forest without rain. Such a wonderful evening. It was literally citrus. Wow. This is a lively place. Did I ever get to see the castle around here? Where is it? Now that I think about it. I actually don't know where it is. Quest goals in Fontaine continue. So we can just leave this place and go to Fontaine, I'm guessing now? Kinda crazy. Oh wow, we don't have the quest point unlocked. That's even more crazier. Been slacking on here. I didn't know you were such a slacker. What Chaos would have said. If I actually mean.
It's right up ahead, but let's make sure we weren't followed first.
I've been keeping watch, Demoiselle. I haven't spotted anyone suspicious thus far.
Huh, very good. But let's...
I shall find rooms for our respected guests.
Thank you, Malus. Now, let's continue
So just like that, we meet Navi.
Here!
We don't take any plunge damage because we're shallow. You can go deeper. I was gonna say you can go deeper down. What even is this place? There's a waypoint down here. Didn't know that existed. They even have a bar down here, a restaurant.
So, this is your base? It's not quite what Paimon imagined.
Your accommodations have been arranged. Under the present circumstances, I can confidently say it's the best we have.
Well, our funds have been a little tight lately. After all, we don't allow illegal or unethical profiteering. In fact, our funds often come from citizenry who support us.
Seems like it's tough times for everyone. But if...
To be honest, our financial situation was a lot better back when my father was in charge a few years ago.
Your father... He was the previous boss of Spina di Rosula, right?
Demoiselle, if you'll allow me to explain...
No. I'll explain it myself. I suppose I couldn't run from this topic forever. And as partners, this is something I hope they can understand. My father's name is Callus. Yes, the same one they call Callus the Unfaithful. In the street
Where did the
3
music
years
start
ago,
coming in?
he was accused of murdering his own friend. But he chose a duel to defend his honor instead of standing trial. He died in the duelist's ring.
Oh no.
But I do not believe my father was a murderer. I'm sure he was set up. At the time, I believed that if he only stood trial and was duly investigated, something amiss would crop up and prove his innocence. But strangely, he not only requested the duel himself, but rumor has it that even after being seriously injured, to the point where he could be deemed as having lost the duel, he refused to surrender, determined to die in the arena. 3 years later, I still don't understand why he did that. How could he protect his honor if he's dead? If anything, he gave up his chance to defend himself. The closest piece of info I have is that my father had been investigating the serial disappearances case at the time of his death.
Ah, so that's why you're...
That's right. However, I believe that if the murder case is related to those behind the disappearances, they must know something. I must know what really happened. Was my father... If only he'd been more open with me when he was still alive. He even hid the fact that my mother died due to complications when giving birth to me. And now, here I am investigating his death. You really are a handful, aren't you, Papa?
Demoiselle, please, if there is anything I can do.
I also will never believe that Master Callus murdered anyone. There are none whom I respect more than the two of you, Demoiselle. Master Callus did so much good in life, yet all it took was one murder case for him to be dubbed Callus the Unfaithful. Even our supporters decreased greatly due to that incident, hence our strained finances.
Wait, if Callus was such a good man, wouldn't people at least be a little suspicious when he was accused?
No. Perhaps people just revel in that kind of drama. It's not something exclusive to people from Fontaine, really. Everyone's like that. People love watching the evil turn over a new leaf, but they also enjoy watching good people fall into an abyss from one slip-up just as much.
But how could...
That is true.
Never mind. If Callus was really falsely accused, we have to find the truth.
There is one other thing. Master Callus's opponent in the duel was Ms. Clorand.
Oh, her? Well, then, isn't that as good as saying that she was the one who killed him? Yeah, that's not the sort of thing that you can just let go and move on.
Ms. Clorand has always placed great emphasis on the honorable nature of the duel. If her opponent doesn't yield, she will not stop either. She knew Master Callus beforehand and greatly respected him, but there was only ever one choice she could have made.
It's not that I don't understand her at all, but
Don't worry, Navia. Paimon knows how you feel. You don't have to force yourself to do that.
Afterward, Ms. Clorand told us that at the start of the duel, Master Callus requested that she ensure Demoiselle Navia's safety. Yes, that is our understanding as well.
Oh, Papa. What madness drove you to ask the person who killed you to take care of me? All right. Anyway, that's the information I wanted to share with you. Even if it did sound like I was just complaining towards the end. Thanks. You two should go and rest. This was quite a day after all.
Yeah, Paimon's beat.
Please, relax and get some sleep. We will ensure you rest soundly.
Paimon slept so well. This place feels almost too safe. Huh? Navia? Where did the other two go?
I sent them back to Poisson. It's Spina de Rosula's place of origin, and where we have our headquarters. There's not much for them to do here at the moment.
Paimon gets the feeling that you're just trying to get them off your back. But never mind that. When did you get back? Were you waiting here the whole time?
No, I just returned after going out for a while. I did some investigating yesterday regarding the name Vache.
Wait, so you didn't sleep at all?
How could I after having such critical new evidence appear?
Guess Paimon...
Unfortunately, this name seems to have been wiped from existence. It doesn't seem to have a match anywhere. I suspect that those behind this have already taken steps to hinder an investigation from this angle. But that does prove that this Vache person is a key witness in the incident.
Does that mean we're too late, though?
No. There is one ray of hope. One place in Fontaine that they would find almost impossible to threaten, no matter how much they wanted to. And that is the archives kept by Chief Justice Neuvillette, a place where detailed files on all the cases in recent years are kept. If the Oceanette you met is one of the young women who went missing recently, we should be able to find some related information there.
So Neuvillette maintains an archive of case files? Whew. Guess that's the hard-working Chief Justice for you. In that case, let's go talk to him, shall we? Aren't you coming along, Navia? Did you get tired?
No, it's nothing. Let's go see the Honorable Chief Justice. The Palais is right up ahead. Come on.
Halt! Please state your business here. The Chief Justice is presently occupied with official matters.
Huh. This place does look pretty heavily guarded. Guess that proves that Neuvillette's files are really secure.
Hey, don't you recognize us?
Huh? Who are you? Just to be clear, I don't care who you are or...
See? They've got great
Yep. Paimon can tell.
If you're here just to crack jokes, I can point you towards the exit.
No. What I meant to say is, shouldn't you remember us from a few days ago? We were at the trial of the great magician Linny.
Oh, yes, I remember. I read about it in the Steambird. You must be Linny's attorneys. It's all coming back to me now.
We're here today to report and archive some information on a follow-up case.
Huh. Is that even a thing?
Of course. Don't worry. We're here on official business. You can trust us.
All right then, I'll let you through. The Chief Justice is just inside.
Thanks so much.
Please come in.
We got Neuvillette in there?
Sorry to barge in, Monsieur Neuvillette. We only lied to get in because we didn't know any other way.
It's all right. Please let me know how I may be of assistance to you.
So you're not mad at us?
We're looking for a man called Vache. He may have been an eyewitness in the serial disappearances case. If we can find him, we may be able to unearth some key information on the case.
Ah, I see. In that case, please wait here a moment while I browse through the files.
Who knew that Neuvillette would be so easy to talk to?
Unfortunately, I'm quite certain that no one by the name of Vache has been involved in any case, criminal or civil, in the past several years. There are no records of him either in the files or in my memory.
Traveler, what if it was really just a dream?
Is that so? All right then. Thank you so much, Monsieur Neuvillette. We'll take our leave now.
Ahem. Miss Navia, I can understand how you feel. Your father, Callus, was a truly exceptional man. We deeply regret his passing.
And what are you trying to say, Monsieur Neuvillette? Are you trying to console me? Extend your sympathy? Or just express some tendril of regret? No. You are not trying to do any of that. I can hear it in your voice. There's no emotion behind your words. You only said those things because you felt like you should.
Wow.
It's just like last time. After my father took his place in the duelist ring, I pushed through the guards to talk to you as a last resort. You even told me then that you thought there was something fishy with the case, yet you still allowed the duel to go ahead. In your eyes, the value of a human life is nothing compared to those cold laws you hold so dear. If you truly regret my father's death, then why didn't you call a stop to the duel? Why didn't you give me the power to stop him from throwing his life away? Why did you just let him die, despised and hated by all? Everything was hanging on a thread at that moment. Just the tiniest effort could have changed everything. There are still so many things I never got to tell him. So many questions he still owes me answers to. If you really have no heart, then just look me in the eyes. I, Navia, will show you the true meaning of regret.
I'm sorry, Miss Navia.
You and my father are truly alike. You keep all kinds of things in your heart and never say a word to anyone. It's not so much that you can't feel, but that you would never express anything. Oh well. In any case, everyone already knows full well the apathy of the Chief Justice. My apologies for taking my emotions out on you, Monsieur Chief Justice. Let's go, Traveler and Paimon.
Navia,
I'm fine.
you're right.
Now that I think of it, on the day my father was convicted of murder, it was also raining.
What is it? Did you think of something?
Yeah, he was outside. It was uncovered and the rain could fall there. Why? Do you think the rain could have affected the crime scene? That thought has occurred to us before. We've even expanded the search area to try to account for that, but didn't find anything of value. Oh? Wait.
So you're saying that the true murderer could have been turned into water and then got washed away with the rain? Yeah. And if that's what had happened, then no one would have believed your dad, even if he explained what he saw to the authorities.
I really think I found a true genius for a partner. You're completely right. All right, let's go to Poisson. With this new lead in mind, we'll get to the bottom of my father.
Yeah, we're gonna make progress.
Do you want to go with me now? Or do you want to head... Great.
The rain stopped. I don't concern myself with the weather.
Whoa, what a huge ship!
There's no need to be so surprised. While it may look like a ship, it's actually Spina di Rosula's headquarters. My father was the one who asked for it to be built like this. Perhaps our taste in exterior design is the only thing we occasionally had in common. A gigantic and glamorous ship embodies discovery, opportunity, ambition, and conquest. It symbolizes Spina di Rosula's bright and limitless future.
And Paimon thought you were bluffing when you said Spina di Rosula had a glorious past.
Spina di
Paimon was
Rosula.
confused, Wig, but now that Paimon has seen this ship for...
Well, Poisson is where Spina di Rosula began, after all.
Di Rosula.
It's our...
That's a real mighty fine name. If I do say so myself. I might gotta pull out save for all this walking Ramona. Stamina system. Man. Could really use some improvement.
Melus, we're back!
Apologies for the wait, demoiselle, and our most important partners. You said before that you still had some business at the court. What brings you back to Poisson so quickly?
About that. It's because my partner here reminded me of something really important. You see, what if my father's case had something to do with water from the primordial sea? You still remember, right, Melus? On that night, it was raining?
Yes, the case was quite similar to that of Mr. Linney's. Both were what you'd call impossible murders.
Could you tell us a bit more about what happened before?
Yeah, of course. Many years ago, something called synth began to gain popularity in Poisson. At a glance, it was a kind of drink that could excite your mood and produce many pleasant hallucinations.
Wait! Didn't that guard guy who turned into water also mention that the primordial water could be used to produce some kind of potion?
Yes, he did. Considering what we know now, it's almost certain that synth is created using water from the primordial sea. If you drink synth for an extended amount of time, you'll suffer many side effects, such as losing the ability to focus or control your emotions. And if you were to stop drinking it completely, you'll experience flashes of paranoia and anxiety while lacking energy to do anything. It's an extremely dangerous substance. As he oversaw Poisson, my father was compelled to put a stop to synth abuse and called for a complete ban of it.
Boss's uncompromising attitude incurred the synth vendor's wrath. Not only that, Boss became determined to find the mastermind behind the synth operation.
Yes, but the enemy was very cunning. So he could never get anything out of the dealers, all of whom only sold the stuff and weren't privy to the rest of the operation. Recognizing that, my father decided to contact the dealers in secret and cultivate personal relationships with them. Finally, he was able to convince someone to become his informant. The man's name was Jacques. He felt greatly ashamed about his work after seeing many families destroyed by synth abuse. That night, my father hosted a banquet at his countryside estate. He planned to meet up and exchange information with Jacques over some food. But then, we heard 2 gunshots from the courtyard. We raced to the scene and found my father, still holding a gun, and Jacques, who was already dead on the ground.
Huh? How did that happen? Aren't they on the same side?
Sounds just like Lenny's case, doesn't it? In both cases, the culprit seemed obvious, but neither appeared to have any motive at all. Looking back on it, though, I now believe the most important clue was something we all overlooked at the time. Precisely. It's all thanks to you that I made the connection now. Back then, we all just thought they were some costumes that Jacques used to disguise himself at the banquet. But, considering it now, it's almost certain that they belong to a third person at the scene. With one extra person, we'll also need to reconsider why the 2 shots were fired.
You're right. We still don't know what happened. But my intuition tells me that we're on the right track to figure.
Jacques was an empathetic man who was infinitely remorseful for his past actions. It's unlikely that he turned on Boss with zero warning. I think this third person is probably the key to the full truth. On that note, however, even though this will not please you, demoiselle, as your and your father's butler, I must still offer a word of warning. Our opponent is insidious and cruel. They are extremely difficult to deal with, and Boss has already lost his life trying to bring them to justice. Even though Spina de Rosula has lost most of its former glory, Poisson has welcomed a new time of peace, and we have been allowed to live out our lives. There is no need to follow your father's path. It would be both wise and in line with Boss's wishes to step back and give up on the case.
If that's indeed what he wished for, then he should have told me that himself. Was I not the closest person to him? And yet, I was the one most kept in the dark. What was the point of him dying without sharing any of the secrets he knew? Did he manage to protect anything in the end? Synth is still here. Callus the Unfaithful is still his epithet. And Spina di Rosula is barely getting by. Did he think I'd just accept his meaningless death and live out my life just as meaninglessly? I've never accepted that. Ever. Not. I want to find out the real answer for everyone's sake. For the missing girls, for the victims, and for myself.
Navia.
This is indeed the best moment to act.
So you do know something else, Malus?
Yes, I do. In fact, even before that banquet, Boss already knew of the connection between Synth and the serial disappearances case. But what drove all the tensions to the boiling point was the revelation that you, demoiselle, had been selected as the next target to disappear.
What?
Boss also didn't tell you that he had been diagnosed with a rare illness. The doctors told him that he had no more than 5 years left to live, and the serial disappearances case caused him great anxiety. 5 years was nowhere near enough time to resolve this long-standing conflict, but once he passed away, all the danger would pass on to you. Knowing all of this, he decided to use one final intimidation tactic before his death. He claimed to have already gotten his hands on some key incriminating evidence for the other side, and even told some members of Spina de Rosula about the details. But as long as you remained safe, he would not share the evidence with the public. If something were to happen to you, then he and all those he told would immediately expose all they knew about Synth and the disappeared victims.
Right, so nobody would be able to get off scot-free.
As we've seen, Boss's tactic has worked. Even though Boss has been gone for a long time, the other side has not tried to take Demoiselle's life.
No, I don't believe it. He never appeared to look sick,
No father wants their daughter to see them weak and haggard, especially someone as proud as Boss. To him, dying in a duel and suffering lasting dishonor as the unfaithful were still far preferable than losing face in front...
So he chose to die in silence, so that he could protect me.
I'm afraid you're not understanding this correctly, demoiselle. What Boss wanted to hand to you was not a parasol, but a sword. If Boss's spirit could hear you telling me that you want to find the answer for the sake of everyone involved, I'm sure he'd be extremely proud.
That fool. Couldn't he have just given it to me straight? No. He might have set up everything precisely because he never thought I'd be able to understand him. Is that the amount of confidence he had in me? And what if I was never able to make it to where I am now? Yeah. I suppose that's true. With the way he'd set things up, if I had wanted, I could have just lived out my life without a care in the world. But thankfully, he rarely talked to me about complex matters, and thus understood little of me as a person. In this case, He really didn't need to give me an easy way out. Huh. Malus, what was the key evidence that he shared with you?
It's the location where Sin, when he was threatening the enemy boss, didn't share the specifics of the incriminating. But if you want to use it against the enemy, you'll still have to take several things into consideration.
Why? If we know where the place is, can't we just go storming in?
You mustn't forget that we're fighting against a mysterious and dangerous. There's no telling what might be lying in wait at their headquarters. We also have no idea what kind of evidence we may be able to find inside, nor what people we may be able to capture. But a single visit to their headquarters would be tantamount to a formal declaration of war. The worst case would be that we leave empty-handed, but also open ourselves up to full retaliation.
Then, in that case, why not work with the Fontaine?
Well, you saw one of them dissolve during Mr. Linney's case. We have no idea just how thoroughly they may have been infiltrated.
Huh. That's true. Seems my father really had no choice. But things are different now.
You sound like you've put a lot of thought.
I am the butler. I've always been willing to take on any kind of risk for your sake. But considering my relative lack of ability, I've spent my time keeping secrets.
Thank you for all of that, Malus. Have you discovered anything new in the past few years?
Let me think. One conclusion I came to was that the enemy must be quite familiar with Spina di Rosula, or at least have an informant planted here. When I announced orders to the organization's members on Demoiselle's behalf, I used to deliberately keep a few people in the dark. If the vendors didn't change their plans, then the individuals informed of our orders must be innocent. If the vendors packed up and fled, however, then someone must have given them the news. After several rounds of testing and investigative tracing, I've narrowed the suspect list down to 3 people. The first is Florent, Spina di Rosula's senior advisor.
Huh?
Yes, surprising, isn't it? He was one of the people Boss trusted the most, which also means that he was someone who understood Boss really well. Thanks to his position within Boss's innermost circle, he always knew our upcoming plans, and there's someone else like him too. Marcel, the head of Confrérie of Cabrières.
Uncle Marcel.
It's a guild in Poisson. Boss helped it to grow to its current size and prominence. In the beginning, there were only...
So...
Yes, it's...
The final suspect is Thierry, the man responsible for coordinating information between Spina di Rosula and the Guard. Although the Guards mostly leave us to our own devices, there are still many activities we have to report to the local authority. Since Thierry is always in the know about our current activities, he could theoretically always plan one step ahead.
I see. These are all people who I communicate with quite regularly. To think that the enemy we've been fighting against has been right next to me all along, among those I trust the most.
If you want to investigate them, please take every precaution to not alert the quarry.
Of course. And thank you, Malus. You've provided us with a lot of great information.
You're too kind, my lady. I'm just doing my duty. And before I forget, proving Boss's innocence would also mean clearing him of blame in Jacques' death. After that incident, Jacques' wife and daughter were taken into the Spina's care. They still live in Poisson today. If it might help, you could also pay them a visit. I can make the necessary...
Aw, thank you so much, Melly.
A new case awaits, my dear partner. I hope we can work together to uncover the truth and end this case once and for all.
Alias case records. 3 years ago, on a rainy night, banquet goers heard 2 gunshots outside the house. When they reached the scene, Callius had a gun in his hands, and Jacques had been shot and slain on these investigations done. Then there was no possibility that anyone else could have done the deed and escaped, and Callius was thus adjudged to have been the culprit. Well, that was a lot to take in, but guys, I'm guessing I'm gonna end it here. I didn't talk much. There's one like, uh, I guess that was kind of like a walkthrough. So yeah, there you have it. A walkthrough of it. But anyways, love you guys. Stay safe, and I'll be back for another video about this. Maybe like I'll be making Zenless Zone videos or something. Still gotta do Imaginary Theater, which I guess look forward to and kind of don't, to be honest with you. What's been going on, like, with the Genshin community, really the whole gacha scene, to be honest with you. I might just make a video on that as well. Like, what is going on here? It's just a lot of things going on in the gacha community. I'm happy that Wuthering Waves stuff is coming to PS5 and console. So, happy about that. Uh, we have effects now in the game where you can walk, but seeing some of the requirements kind of didn't make any sense. Level 90, friendship 10 is kind of insane that you have to do that. But yeah, anyways,
The damned will
my
sooner
next
die
video.
again than lay a hand on me.
Okay, I had to wait for the shout to finish. But my next video probably be like, I don't know, maybe Honkai Star Rail, Zenless Zone Zero, or Genshin, maybe Fortnite. Probably even feel like getting on Fortnite the way it is right now. Just like every game is kind of sucking. Well, I don't know about Star Rail. Star Rail is doing okay, and Wuthering Waves is doing okay. Every other gotcha game, yeah, I don't know about that. And I also signed up for Everless Netherless, the new gotcha game. I don't know when that's coming out. Probably like in 2025, 26, 27. Don't know when that's coming out. But it's looking good. You can even drive there too. So that's a good thing. Anyways, I might make like just a talking video, I guess. Messing around. And Genshin probably. I don't know. Like, yeah. That's about it. But anyways, love you guys. Bye bye.